It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite.
Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the biggest episode of Elite POV in our short history. Because it's podcast time, and you know what that means. I'm one of your hosts, Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium, alongside the draw, Jacky Rodriguez. What is up?
Well. Do
How
we
the
have
turntables?
an exciting night for y'all? That's all I'm going to say. What's up to everybody in the chat? I'm excited.
Alongside the producer hoot, the Canadian prince, the man who just shared a moment with me, which we'll get to at the end of the show. I can't stop smiling. I want to say it now, but I'm going to make you guys wait a little bit because that's what we do here. Kyle Masters, what is up?
I'm seriously still on cloud 9. I haven't come down from my cloud yet, so I'm just going to chill up here. That's okay. I'm just going to hang out up here and live in this moment, loving life, loving everything. I've been tweeting about loving life the last hour now, and saw someone tweeting about it, and I retweeted them. I just live in the moment right now. You guys will find out what happened later, but you guys will get a big surprise soon. But yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in today. If you're in the live chat, if you're listening back on audio, if you're watching the VOD, everything is much appreciated because you fans are the ones that keep us coming back here and doing this show. So thank you guys for coming in.
Hey.
What's going on, everybody? Let's talk some all elite wrestling.
Together, we are Elite POV, and if it's your first time listening, welcome. We do the show every Thursday on twitch.tv/Elite POV, where replays available on YouTube and anywhere you guys find your podcasts. If you like what you hear and want to support us, you can head on over to patreon.com/Elite POV, where today I posted for all the Patreons a 26-minute video. I know, a 26-minute video
26?
of my wrestling collection. It is a good time. It was a great trip down memory lane. So make sure you check that out. That is available for any level of Patreon. Also, we have shows like Top Girl Talk, which will be recorded and posted this week. So we are within the week, I should say. We are very, very excited about that. And if you want to support us even more, head on over to ElitePOVmerch.com and get some of these incredible designs made by our boy, Infinity. #pay the man.
#pay the man indeed.
I'm just going to throw
How's
this out
everybody
there.
doing tonight? How's
Throw this
everybody?
out
Jackie,
there.
how you doing tonight? How you living tonight, Jackie? I'm feeling good.
I'm living on the edge right now, if I'm being completely honest, but for completely different reasons than y'all are. But but I'm feeling good. I'm hyped.
Good. We got some great people in the chat. Shout out to Mama POV. Shout out to Infinity, Ali, Black Max, 4-star Ascended, Wade, Rob. We got a good vibe
big
going on
team
tonight
today, and I apologize ahead of time. I know my voice is going to sound more echoey now, more than ever because of this room. That's solely not going to be my podcast room anymore when they finally tell me a moving date, which fingers crossed should be tomorrow. And I'll be moving into my brand new apartment with my new studio. Again, I don't know when that's going to be. Everything's just so delayed up here in Canada.
Listen, your voice still sounds beautiful.
Thank you.
Sounds
but
great.
There's going to be an echo because there's nothing left in this room but this table and this computer.
And you. Great
And me.
acoustics,
And
bro.
me.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Elite POV sweater. It's hanging back there.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. So we have 2 things to say before we get into the show this week. One, obviously, we're missing a member this week. Shout out to Ant. He's doing a great thing with Make-A-Wish. Him and his wife are there. You see the pictures on his social media. So make sure you go out there and send Ant all the love possible. Ant will be back on the show next week. And the second thing, We teased it on Twitter. We teased it in the beginning of the show. We're gonna keep teasing it. We have a huge announcement, the biggest announcement of our short podcast lives at the end of the show. Make sure you stay for the whole thing, because trust me, it's something you're not gonna want to miss. But let's dive right into some news. Now, the big news coming out of Dynamite this week is, of course, Revolution is officially in the Orlando area. And the weird thing about it is it's taking place on a Sunday night. That's not a holiday weekend. So I'm going to start with you, Jackie. How do you think this will affect ticket sales and pay-per-view buy rates? Because a lot of us, like myself, has to work very early in the morning on Mondays. So do you think that affects it? But how do you feel about the whole situation?
Listen, not to reference the other company too much, but those of us that have been wrestling fans for a long period of time are very used to the model of the Sunday night pay-per-view, knowing that we have to get up and go to work the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly don't think it's going to affect it in a negative way at all. I think more for people that are traveling out of state might have a little bit less incentive to travel to the event. But Florida has become a hub for wrestling over the last few years. So I really am excited to see them to go to a bigger arena in a different spot that they haven't been in before. The intrigue is going to keep building, and I think they're going to do well. I have faith.
What arena is it in? Is it in the Amway Center?
Yeah, it is Amway.
Oh, whoa, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
For the Orlando Magic play. That's a basketball arena, man. That's like Union Center in Chicago. That's a big deal. Or whatever it's called now. Isn't it called something different now? I don't know. The NBA is changing all their names. They're getting stupid. Staples Center isn't Staples Center anymore.
What
it's
a
like
sad day that was.
It's like Groundhog's Day. The cat jumped the road center. Like, this is terrible. Like,
the cat jumped the road.
Yeah,
center.
it's horrible. But Kyle, how do you feel about this? I mean, you're in Canada, so it really doesn't affect you. But how does a Sunday night pay-per-view affect you?
It doesn't affect me. You think we have different days of the week up here?
No,
what's everyone's initial thought of Canada? Is like, oh, there's definitely something different up there. We're literally the same as you.
I don't know if you guys work Mondays. Maybe they give you Monday off because they treat their people better. I don't know.
Canada, officially Mondays are off from where I wish, God, that would be a blessing if that was a thing. But as for the whole pay-per-view thing, there's reasons as to why they don't do Saturdays. Like sometimes they don't do Saturdays. They've moved away because recently when they've moved away from Saturdays, there's been something happening that Saturday that they don't want to go up against.
The UFC
like there's something big happening on the Saturday that they don't want to go up against. And they want to kind of let people, go to both that are probably fans of both. So I think there's always a method as to why Tony Khan does pick a Sunday rather than Saturday. Like we got the break, was it Full Gear this year was a Saturday, I believe, correct?
Yes, it was.
And All Out, I think, was a Saturday as well.
Sunday.
I think it was a Sunday, but it fell on a holiday weekend here in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, on Labor Day. And then Double or Nothing was Memorial Day weekend, so that was also a Sunday. And Revolution was on a Saturday.
There's no holidays that I can think of happening in February. Is it February it's happening? Double or Revolution?
Yeah, no, there's no holiday. It's not a holiday.
No. It's happening beginning of March this year, I believe.
Revolution's beginning of March?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it is, yeah.
Okay, so they might push Double or Nothing maybe into the end of May, June then.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
I think it's like March 3rd, right? Something like that.
To me, it doesn't really matter, though. You're a wrestling fan.
March 6 in the chat. Okay. Thank you, Allie.
You're a wrestling fan. You're going to watch it no matter what. If you're a fan of the product, you're going to watch it no matter what. You're going to find a way to watch no matter what. If it's, work should obviously come first and you should put your life, you should prioritize your life the way you should. If you have to, you buy the pay-per-view, then you watch it the next day. You know what I mean? Like you still support the company. You don't just because you work early the next day, you don't go and buy the pay-per-view. You still buy to support the company and you're still going to watch it when you have some free time to watch it. So to me, it doesn't really matter. I do like the Saturdays. Now that they have the Rampage live on the Friday before the pay-per-view, I think it also can give the wrestlers a little bit of a break and a day off in between the pay-per-view and Rampage to...
And Ali's saying in the chat, which is very true, they do FanFest on Saturdays now. So, maybe this means that FanFest goes back to a more StarCast-like feel with press conferences and cool stuff like that go later on to the night. So it's like an all day thing and not just like a meet and greet before the show.
Yeah, they did announce that there's going to be a fan festival. I imagine they're going to do something big, and especially in a city like Orlando for that Saturday. So again, there's always a method as to why they do move the pay-per-view dates. So I'm fine with it. They only have 4 pay-per-views a year, so I think we can definitely just, deal with it at this point. It's not like we're having a pay-per-view every 3 weeks like other companies. So
It's true. Yeah.
It's
true.
I don't mind it, and I'm excited. I like the graphic that they showed last night with like the roller coaster, like that electric kind of roller coaster looking background behind the logo, which is really sweet. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Cannot wait for Revolution.
It's going to be a great time. I mean, and it's just going to put more of an emphasis on, special event shows like Battle of the Belts, because these are the shows that's going to get us from Full Gear to Revolution, since there's only 4 a year, 1 a quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Now, with that good news to a little bit of bad news, and we're not going to speculate on what's next for this guy. We want to be very aware and take his feelings and his family's feelings and all this stuff and be very respectful to what's going on in the situation. So, if you're on wrestling Twitter, which we all are, we noticed that WWE released Jeff Hardy today. This wasn't a budget cut. This seems to be something to do with his health. Now, we don't want to speculate on what it is because no one knows. It's just being reported that he got released. So, us as a show, we want to wish Jeff Hardy the best in his recovery. Whatever comes next, if he never wrestles again, if he wrestles for a different company, if he goes back, it's completely on him. But we want him to put his health and his mental health and his physical health first, and hopefully everything is going well. Matt Hardy, if you guys follow him, posted some nice stuff about it. Jeff Hardy's wife posted that he's good, so at least we're going in the right direction. But do you guys want to say anything? I'll start with you, Jackie.
Yeah, I just want to say that, whatever the situation is, just when you're out there in social media land, try not to over speculate, and let's not do the whole fantasy booking thing. Just let the man breathe. Whatever is going on, I just hope that he's doing well, and I hope that this was I don't want to say like an amicable decision, but just that this was the right decision for him in whatever stage he's at his life now.
And send it in the chat. I see what you're saying. So the thing about that is it's not confirmed. These are all speculation. Even Sean Ross Sapp, who I get all my information from, because if you guys don't know, Fightful and Fightful Select, which is their Patreon, they're a great follow. Definitely worth the price if you guys are looking for wrestling information, and they're very stand up and they stand behind what they say. I was listening to Sean Ross talk about it earlier, and he didn't want to say anything until he got like 100% confirmed. The only thing he knows that is known to the public is that they released him. Everything else is just speculation for now. So, but yeah, Kyle, go.
I think it's the number one thing you guys have to think about, and if you're on wrestling Twitter or some sort of wrestling social media, is that the stuff you say about someone on Twitter really does affect them. And we've seen it as of late that it's caused some wrestlers to delete their Twitter account because people are just ruthless on these apps. And I think it's best when you hear something like this, which is obviously speculation. It's speculation. You cannot tweet this about speculation. You cannot tweet. I think the best thing to do is not tweet in the speculation. You tweet what you should do is wishing what we did, like wishing him just well, right? He got fired. It's a horrible thing. Regardless of why he got fired, getting fired from a big company it'll affect him mentally no matter what. So the people that all they did, and that's what I did. All I did was sending my prayers to Jeff Hardy. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go out there on Twitter, speculate what company you think you want to see him in, or he's got addiction, and then start talking about it. That doesn't really help the situation. It's not your business. It's none of our business. You wish him well in his future, not trying to sound like I'm firing him, but you wish him well in his future endeavors, and you wish that he does get well. And you don't sit there and speculate on the rumors that are happening. And regardless if they're like half confirmed or not, you kind of just wait until it comes out of the horse's mouth kind of thing. Like, I don't want to sit there and go off these speculations and then start tweeting about them. I'm just going to sit there and wish him well and then hope he gets better. It is what it is. Then you got stuff that comes out like that was sent in the chat, like that he was offered rehab and he denied it. We don't know that. We don't like unless it came from Jeff Hardy's mouth or some family member that knows him. I'm not going to believe it. I don't care what
And the thing
news
is, fans,
I don't care what news. I don't care how affiliated they are. I'm not going to sit there and believe until I hear it from them because it's not my place and it's not my business to speculate and to comment on it. So
yeah, absolutely. And as fans, this is another opportunity where we can step up and be better, right?
be positive.
If you
Spread
wanna
the
talk about
love,
Jeff Hardy,
people.
If you want to talk about Jeff Hardy, we see it in the chat going on right now. Hashtag thank you, Jeff Hardy. Tag him in post. Say how much you love him, what he meant to you. A lot of wrestlers, Big E, I saw, Cora Jade, a lot of wrestlers, or, Private Party, even people from AEW, they're giving Jeff Hardy all this love. So as fans, let's give him some of the same. But from that, let's transition over to AEW Dynamite that took place from Long Island this past week. And I want to start right off with the CM Punk promo. Some people had a problem with it. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. Surprisingly, I saw some hate online. Kyle, I'll start with you. What did you think of CM Punk's promo to start the show this week?
Did you guys notice the first thing, that stuck out in my head was before he even said anything? Everyone remembers when CM Punk was rumored to be at the Last Dance, when they announced the Last Dance at the United Center? Everyone's like, okay, this is going to be Punk's debut. But do you remember what everyone else was saying at the same time that was happening? They're like, could you imagine that Punk's music hits and MJF walks out to the booth?
Yep.
What just happened
in
MJF's hometown? His music hit, CM Punk walked out. They just did the complete opposite, and I connected with that immediately. And like, oh my God, they just did what everyone was speculating to happen to CM Punk because no one really kind of believed that it was real, that he was coming back to wrestling. He's going to be in AEW. Everyone's like, he's going to be MJF, and he's going to get the most massive heat in wrestling in the Chicago crowd. But they did it in Long Island, basically MJF's hometown, and it was amazing. And Punk, I mean, he's going out there, and he knows. I bet you in his head, he's like, I can take these promo in two ways, depending on how I'm going to get reaction, how the reaction is going to be. The reaction was, okay, they obviously love MJF no matter what, and they'll boo no matter who else. He's going to go out there and cut a promo against the Long Island. Like, you people like this guy? And, start making fun of the Islanders because Punk's a big hockey guy and he's a Chicago fan.
That's what got Kyle going. That's why I went to Kyle first, because it was a very hockey-heavy promo, let me tell you.
Loved it. And he started bringing up, like, oh, Chicago crowds are better and stuff. I'm like, this is perfect. So this is what you need to do. Doesn't make CM Punk a heel here. He's just playing to the element. That's what makes a professional wrestler good. He plays to the element he has. He's not going to go out there and get a force-fed script and read it no matter what the crowd reaction is. He adapted to what that crowd reaction was going to be, because I guarantee you that promo would have been a lot different if you had all cheers and no boos.
Yeah, you're 100% right. What about you, Jackie? I know, listen, just like me, we're not the biggest hockey fans, right?
Yeah, I don't know jack shit about hockey.
How did you receive the promo? Did you like it?
I thought it was well done. It was a swerve in my book, because my thought process was that if anything was going to happen in terms of the way that the crowd received like MJF in his hometown, was that they would boo him even more viciously just to kind of give him that extra boost as a heel. So when Punk is coming out, and it seemed like before he even said anything, they were like, booing the shit out of him. I was like, oh, damn. So he just he took it and he ran with it. I think you had just mentioned that like some people weren't a fan of it, or I hope that they weren't offended by it, because good Lord, it's like at this point, it's like he's taking advantage of the crowd.
Do they know who they are cheering for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like really, like it's just like, to me, like when he took off the hoodie and he had the 4 Pillars shirt on with Britt Baker instead of MJF, that shit popped me so bad. And I'm like, well, this is what you get. Like, you came for Larry last week. You talked about wanting to put his dog to sleep. It's like, all right. So CM Punk came back out, and seeing that like snarky, edgy side of him, I love that. So I was a fan of him going out there and doing that, even though it was completely unexpected for him to do it.
And one thing that I do want to mention, so, shout out to Ant. He gets the first shout out of the night. He was mentioning in the chat, or I saw him right on Twitter, I think, that the reason why CM Punk kept it to hockey and didn't want to really do like a, quote unquote heel type promo is because he's only a heel here. Like, right? Like, he not even a heel, but he's only going to get booed in Long Island, right? In every other city, he's going to get cheered because everyone hates MJF. You know, a lot of people on Twitter were calling last night's episode of Dynamite Bizarro World because it was like everything was topsy-turvy, right? They were, MJF was getting like Hangman babyface level reactions of like, you know, and we'll talk about it when we get to the Battle Royal coming up. But like, you know, this dude was like the hero. So like Punk knows he's not going to go out there and try to fight it. He's going to play with it, but still be respectful. So when he goes to other cities, you know, next week on Dynamite, they're not going to boo Punk. They're going to cheer Punk and boo MJF. So it reminds me of the whole Bret Hart Shawn Michaels thing. When they were in Canada, Bret Hart got cheered. When he was in the US, he got booed, which I think is really cool and something that I've definitely missed in wrestling.
And you notice they didn't make MJF talk once throughout this whole episode. He's talked every episode he's appeared on, but this one, because he knows he's smart enough, because he knows when he talks, he only wants the booze. And if he said anything in Long Island, it would get cheered no matter what. He could call them like the dirty dog shit on the end of his boot, and the crowd would cheer that. So he is a smart heel for not saying a word and just living the reaction the way he did.
Now, to transition to probably the coolest moment of the night, if I'm being honest, that opening video for MJF's entrance, it shows him walking out his football field. Amazing. And he's putting on his Letterman jacket, and the crowd's going ballistic. It was so cool because, yet again, he doesn't get booked like this ever. He doesn't get the video packages showing he's the hometown hero and we should cheer for him. So
the production team, unreal. Yeah.
Beautiful. Round of applause to the production team for that one. But Jackie, what did you think of the opening for the Battle Royal with MJF's promo?
I literally had to really just like laugh watching it, because it's just the level of extra that they went with it was perfection for him. The mentioning like Long Island references like Billy Joel and shit like that. Like it was great. It was great to me. But what really got me, and if you go back and you rewatch the footage, I don't care. You can zoom in on it or whatever. He could try to play it off as much as he wants to. That man got emotional when he hit the top of the ramp. Mm-hmm. There were some points where it looked like, I'm like, is MJF, like, is he breaking? Because you got to think, like, for as heelish as he is, you know, he's a young guy and he's breaking out in front of his home crowd. Like, that's got to be a freaking momentous feeling. So to really keep stone-faced and not react to it at all would be damn near impossible. He rebounded really quickly and he, you know, goofed on CM Punk with that entrance a little bit. But yeah, you can catch it for a brief moment. I think he was slightly overwhelmed. And
it was cool because it was like a mirror image of Punk's entrance in Chicago, right? He kneeled on the stage. Instead of jumping in the crowd, he like laid on the crowd, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did his entrance too. Like he was mimicking the motions of CM Punk's entrance, especially like on the stage when he goes down to his knees, which is awesome too. I just love this whole feud between these two. It's everything that we could have expected so far, and I thought this was going to be where they were going to wrestle, but it's not official for next week, is it? So it makes me think.
No, it's not.
No, well, next week MJF is in a match, and we could use this to transition. So we get the Battle Royal, a bunch of cool moments in it, if you guys want to touch on it. But the final was MJF and Dante Martin, and that's the match that's going into next week. Now, as far as moments in the match that I want to bring up, you know, the big one that people are talking about is MJF. Wardlow was eliminating two people. MJF flipped Wardlow out with the two people. So we're getting more storyline in regards to that. I want to shout out Sean Spears for being absolutely hilarious on ringside, catching MJF, doing everything he can to keep him in the ring. And then, of course, the Dante Martin turning on Team Taz, which I think it was a little too soon, personally, because he just joined them. It wasn't really, and if Taz didn't say anything on commentary, I don't even think I would have even put much thought into it.
It was very, very lackluster. I felt like it needed to be bigger. It needed to be its own segment. Like I was just like, this is how they're gonna switch it up. I think there could have been a better opportunity to do it, but it is what it is.
Also, I think we really need to take a moment and shout out the Elite Hunter, Frankie
Oh,
Kazarian.
Ant's favorite wrestler. Yeah.
Ant's favorite wrestler. Ant's not here to defend himself, so it's his favorite wrestler.
Yeah, it's his favorite wrestler. Everyone in the chat acknowledge it. Ant's favorite wrestler is Frankie Kazarian, the Elite Hunter.
The Elite Hunter.
The Elite Hunter version of Kazarian.
Everybody,
specifically.
Everybody right now, send him a tweet of GIF of Frankie Kazarian. For no context.
No context. Just put a GIF of Frankie Kazarian and tweet at Ant or whatever.
Yeah,
at
just
Ant
do it.
Is Elite, whatever his Twitter name is.
Oh my God.
What did you guys say? Are you guys happy with the fact that Dante Martin and MJF for the final two leading into a match next week? Jackie?
I like it.
Yes, in a way. I personally wanted to see Wardlow win this match because I'm dying for this storyline to culminate. But obviously we have, MJF and CM Punk taking the forefront, so that is gonna wait a little bit more. I'm more excited for the fact that I think that they're going to have a great match with each other than anything else. Storyline wise, could they have picked a better person? Yeah, maybe. But in terms of what I think they're going to deliver with match quality, yeah, I'm really pumped that it's Dante Martin.
And what about you, Kyle?
I mean, I'm fine. It's with Dante Martin, obviously, because obviously this guy's a big deal, and they're putting like two of the future of this company up against each other next week. It would have been cool if they wanted to continue this whole Taz storyline is if they had Leo Rush win and Leo Rush Team Taz cost Leo Rush the match next week against MJF, and MJF again wins dirty and keeps holding on to that ring. Or I would have loved to see like a Jay Lethal maybe, because a Jay Lethal, cool. A quick MJF match would have been awesome. And even if Jay Lethal won the ring, I mean, does the ring really mean anything right now? I know it's part of MJF's like whole shtick, but I don't think anyone would be opposed to like a Jay Lethal winning it and holding on to the ring, because anyone that wins the ring, it's like they're kind of just making MJF hold the ring until the right person and character can take it from him that can do something with the ring. Because until there is that person, he's just going to win every single time. Dante Martin is not going to walk around with the diamond ring on.
Yeah, it doesn't add much to his character.
That's what I was going to say.
Really.
I think MJF is what made the Dynamite Diamond ring. Like, it wasn't the other way around.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Now, something I do want to mention is, so during Punk's promo, he kind of hinted at that after he gets done with MJF, he's going to start to go after the title. So do you think that the winner of this MJF Punk feud faces Hangman at Revolution, since we're getting Hangman versus Danielson next week?
So
he can duel against either. I can see Punk facing either guy. So now, God, what if they do it again? What if they make the title change on Winter is Coming again, and they give us Punk and Bryan Danielson at Revolution?
I think it's too soon. I want to see Hangman hold it.
No, I really don't think you can do that much of a build just to have him drop the belt that quickly. That would just be like nonsensical at this point. I don't think Danielson's taking the belt from Hangman.
I think MJF
not yet anyway.
I can see MJF. If MJF gets through Punk, I can see MJF beating Hangman at Revolution, since it's in March. You would have months of a Hangman title reign, and then you could tell that story of like MJF being the ultimate heel and taking away our favorite babyface's championship.
Oh man, maybe this what they're priming. They're priming MJF is going to be the next champ.
Maybe
I can
think
see
so.
it. And I not say this in a couple episodes ago that it's gonna make the turn for Wardlow and MJF is gonna be the time that MJF wins the belt. And that's when we're gonna see the turn, and Wardlow's gonna go after him for that belt. It's going to be
Batista and Triple H.
Yeah.
And Wardlow is going to be a absolute megastar.
Sorry, Big Popski in the chat. From Ant.
Thank you everybody who sent him anything. In the chat, ceremony is starting. Fucking Elite Hunter.
We love you, man.
Thank you guys for that. Now, a match that I want to talk about, which honestly was my favorite match of the night, and I'm gonna go to Kyle first in this because this involved his girl. We saw Jamie Hayter versus Riho, and a little backstage stuff when it comes to us as a team. I was shitting on Riho Dude, I was like, man, I'm not
My
really the
God,
biggest Riho fan.
whatsoever.
Let's be honest, right?
You were
and
Jamie
not
Hader
saying
this
she's
morning.
bad.
You were Jamie Hader this morning when she found the production truck and she
Oh,
took
yeah,
the
it was
selfie
like,
of the
yeah,
middle
like this.
finger.
Yeah, but and listen, I'm not saying Riho's bad. I'm just saying I don't like her. It's okay. I cannot like her, right? We all have our favorites or whatever. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, this match was incredible, and I added it to one of my favorite matches of the year. So Kyle, just let me know what you thought, because of course that was your girl in that match, and she showed the fuck out like she does every time.
Yo, shout outs to the stylist, or if she did it herself, her hair was like on point this week. Love that. She always looks great though, no matter what. Obviously, it's Jamie Hader. Shout outs to the guy that had the sign, or the person that had the sign, and Britt grabbed it. Be a hater. Love that. That should be a t-shirt. I know, I hope. If not, Shop AW, get on that. Give me a Be a Hater shirt. So I'll buy it right away. I'll pay the extra $30,000 in Canadian fees that I'll pay just for that shirt. I'll pay for it. So make it up, please, for us. But yeah, the match. If this match did not show anybody that Jamie Hader is legit and is regardless of her like not winning as of late, but is, she's legit. I don't know what it's gonna take. Jamie Hader is going to be one of the best wrestlers in this division, and she has the future champ material written all over her. The way she takes bumps, too. She takes and makes every move that she's to whoever she's facing look good. The way she takes cross bodies on the outside, the way she took that crucifix bomb from Riho off the turnbuckle. That was like all of Jamie Hader taking that and selling it after. This match was amazing. Like, Riho is already, she's what she is. Phil's not a fan. I know she's a good wrestler and all. That's why Kenny handpicked her to be one of the Joshis at first in AEW. And look, they just went out there and put a banger. But Jamie Hader, again, proving time and week after week that she is a big player in this division. And I cannot wait for her, because I think the split from Britt's coming soon. And then we're going to get this like when Miro broke away from Kip Sabian. I think Jamie Hader's just going to go on this tear and just start tearing through women. And it might go to the TBS title, or maybe it goes towards Britt. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see.
And listen, chat, okay? Stop coming at me, bro. I like Sheeta. Sheeta's a Joshi, is she not? Or does that not count? I like Sheeta, all right? I just don't like, I almost said Kari Sane. I love Kari Sane. I just don't like Riho, and I don't like Emi Sakura. All right?
I think there's two types of Joshis. There's like the Joshis that are like Emi Sakura, Maki Ito, and Riho. Then there's the Joshis like Shida, who are like the Kenny Joshis. Like they're more of that style.
Listen, I already said I was wrong. Yeah. Riho might have won me over, all right? And shout out to Rob, because you know how I am with my opinions, right? It changed like that.
Yeah, I love Riho. Hell, Rio's theme is fire, by the way. Her entrance theme is fire.
Ali, I don't like the gimmicky Joshis, except Maki Ito. She's kind of gimmicky, and I love her.
Oh, Maki Ito's the best. They need to get her back over here, man. She is iconic.
Maki Ito is Japanese for go fuck yourself.
It probably is.
But Jackie, what did you think of this?
I think it was a really solid match. However, I think it didn't become a solid match till maybe the second half of it. Mm-hmm. I love the way that Jamie Hader is being presented, or rather, excuse me, not the way she's being presented, but the way she's presenting herself in terms of how strong she comes across. She's always super aggressive, super like when she hits you, it's like a truck is hitting you. And shout out to Riho. I know that you're saying you're not the biggest fan. Riho is not my personal favorite, but I have a lot of respect for what she does and what she brings in the ring. And she sells a bump too, like nobody's business, because she's tiny and she bends like rubber. So every time Jamie Hader's like, snapping her around, it looks like devastating, completely devastating. You're wondering, like, did she just get broken in half? Shout out to Jim Ross there.
Y'all are right in the chat. I drink that Haterade. Hay Haterade.
If you guys follow him on social media, he's posting his journey with all the cancer and stuff.
Shout out to you, JR. Hope you get better soon, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, no, I thought the match was great. I hate to be that person to complain again, but it's like, once again, we're in the 9:30 time slot. Once again, we're getting hit with picture-in-picture.
No, you cannot. No, This week I'm gonna slam
knew
the
this
door
was
shut
coming.
on your picture-in-picture complaint. 9:30 slot.
No,
I'll
no,
agree
no,
with you.
no,
No.
no,
Let me
no,
finish.
wait,
Let me
this was-
finish.
no, this
Let me
was my
finish. Let me
turn to
finish.
talk.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say that I agree
Every
with.
match got hit with picture.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. I'm going to say that I agree with you in the 9:30 slot. Shouldn't be there. Move it somewhere else. Stop making that a thing. But every match before this match had picture-in-picture, and it was the same amount of time.
Yes, but you're not letting me finish because what I was going to say was you're going to picture-in-picture, and then it went to full commercial.
Well, that's for you guys. It didn't happen for me.
For us in the U.S., yes. I don't know why Canada got a different.
That's a
fee.
TNT thing.
Free healthcare.
That's-
You're free healthcare. You don't work on Mondays.
You know what,
We found
Jackie?
out during
That's
the
a
podcast.
that's a TNT thing. You take it up with TNT. That's not my problem.
Yeah, well, did I say it was your problem? We're taking it up with
TBS.
whoever's booking the damn show.
TBS, when you
I
go
don't
in
know why I
fucking
said that.
January, right? A couple weeks. Let me tell you something. You better not go picture-in-picture and then a commercial because Jackie gonna find your ass. and
I
beat the
am
shit
gonna
out of you.
find you.
Right?
Because yes, I would agree with you in terms of every match got hit with picture-in-picture. I think where I took issue was that it went to picture-in-picture and then full commercial, and then I'm like, come on, damn it! Like, let's not keep doing.
Yo, I ain't
this.
no Kanye. Don't compare me to Kanye West in the chat, y'all. The hell? This ain't no T Swift Kanye moment here. This is just a respectable.
And I'm gonna let you finish.
Understand,
bong.
Jazz? I'm gonna let you finish, but wait.
Give
I'm
a picture
sorry.
in picture in every match.
Yo, oh
Yo,
my
Ascended,
God.
you ain't lying, bro. You ain't
Oh.
lying. But yeah,
Oh,
it was a
yeah, he's not
fantastic
lying.
match. It was a great match. One of the best matches on Dynamite these last couple past months. So if you didn't see it, make sure you watch it. And also shout out to this match because if we noticed while we were watching it, segments that MJF was not in, the crowd seemed very dead at times. They seemed like all their energy during the Punk promo, during the Battle Royal, the stuff with MJF, and then they kind of went off a cliff and were like here and there. And then the women's match really brought them back in, which is what they seem to do every week, right? These women's matches get like 10 to 15 minutes in that, well, like 10 to 12 minutes every week, and they get the crowd going, no matter who the two women are, which you absolutely love. So that's really cool. Now on to another great match. We had the Young Bucks versus Rocky Romero and Chuck Taylor. And the thing that I want to talk about, and this is where
Chaos.
my weekly shout out to Carrie is going to come in this segment right now. Because let me tell you something, Carrie, okay? I'm looking right into the camera. You work for AEW. Just tell me already, all right? Just
I'm gonna look
admit
too.
it to me because she told me like 3 days
Jackie,
ago,
you look too.
whenever this match was announced, she booked this whole ending of this match. This is what's going to happen, and this is what's going to happen, and this is what's going to happen, and then it all happened. And if you don't know, what I'm talking about is Trent Beretta comes back looking like the Blade, looking like John Moxley.
Moxley and Blade's love child.
Yeah, exactly. With a shaved head, he's looking jacked, looking swole, and he comes with Sue.
Oh.
Sue's first appearance in front of a full crowd of fans, which is incredible. We get the great moment with all Chaos being together. Sue, confirmed member of Chaos social media. Okay.
Yeah.
Jackie, I'll start with you. How did it feel seeing this great match and then the great moment that follows?
Yeah, to me, it's like the match was fine, but nothing about the match mattered as soon as that white van pulls up, and you already know, Mama Sue is in the building. Trent with the shaved head. I actually really am digging this look from him, honestly. He looks great. I'm glad to see him back. It felt like he was freaking gone forever. And I want to shout out to my brother if he's still in the chat. He had texted me like a minute before. He's like, damn, we haven't seen Trent in a long time. And it was like clockwork. White van pulls up, a Trent pulls up. He's like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
In his
You know,
hometown.
in his hometown.
Long
and
Island boy.
You know, it always sucks when somebody's out on an injury and has to get surgeries and stuff like that. And you always wonder, like, you know, what length of time they're going to be gone for. I've personally missed the hell out of Trent when it comes to the best friends dynamic. So let's fucking go.
And shout out, if you guys didn't see us on Twitter, speaking of the best friends, Jackie's new name is Jackie Wheeler Yuta. Thank you,
Jackie
Ant, for that.
Wheeler Yuta. Yeah.
That popped me. That popped me huge when Ant said that yesterday. So even though, and I saw somebody mention it earlier, who's going to pop Jackie when Ant's not here, Ant can still pop Jackie by not being here. Jackie Wheeler Yuta. Thank you very much. But Kyle, what'd you think of this segment and this match and everything?
So the match was pretty good, and the Young Bucks actually were doing a lot of entertaining things within the match that were great. And the one where they had like the whole crowd clapping at the same time in unison, and then they went off the ropes and then slid underneath the ropes to join Adam Cole outside to do the kiss thing, because he was they were, that's a creative way to do that without Adam Cole being in the match. But man, every day I see, I guess you can call them the Super Click or the Elite, come out, and every day I'm like, I'm thinking of how they're gonna do this when that next member that we know is coming, supposed to be very soon, is gonna come, and what's gonna happen when Mr. O'Reilly shows up or whatever he's gonna go by. I assume
O'Reilly, he
can't go by
no?
Kyle O'Reilly like Bobby Fish can. I'm assuming. It's almost certain that, Undisputed Era getting back together regardless. I'm still holding true to this, that it's gonna be Adam Cole and his two brothers. They're gonna split away from the Bucks. I have this gut feeling that it's gonna happen, so I'm sticking to it. But as for the match, it was awesome in that moment at the end. I didn't see that coming at all. Did not have a thought in my head about Trent. I remember every time I see the Best Friends, I'm always like, oh yeah, Trent's hurt. I never think about when he's going to come back. I always think it's a bad injury. But man, did he shock everyone.
That's why you
coming out with those locks.
You got to start talking to Carrie, bro. Carrie is my dirt sheet because it always ends up coming true, bro. She
for Revolution
Hangman storyline a year earlier. She books everything. Carrie is so in tune with what's going on. It is beautiful. And that's what makes me want to be a better wrestling fan.
Predictions?
Yeah, dude, we have to.
I'm hitting you up, Carrie. So look out for my DM when I get closer to Revolution, because I'm going to be going to you and I'm going to get that card 100%.
Yeah, tell me who's winning the TBS title and how
let us
Ruby
know.
Soho.
Let us know.
Why it's Ruby Soho? Jackie, stop shaking your head. You know it's going to happen.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, speaking of Jackie,
hi, Jackie.
We finally are getting the Lucha Bros and FTR match. We got a promo segment this week talking about it. And Jackie, how do you feel that? I mean, we're not getting a 2 out of 3 falls on Friday on Rampage, but we're still getting a title match. It's great to see that Rey Fenix was able to make it and he's not hurt or he didn't have travel issues. I'm so tired of this COVID fucking travel issues bullshit that's happening in the world. I don't blame Rey Fenix. It's just the way the world is. Everything's so hard to maneuver now. But Jackie, how excited are you for this Friday?
Oh, I don't know. Can we see this shirt that I'm wearing right now? How excited do you think I am? Yeah. I see what's happening on the screen now, and I'm going to try to
listeners, Jackie is wearing a #FTR Top Guy shirt. If you guys are live in the chat right now, I'm seeing it on delay. Kyle is adding Jackie Wheeler Yuta to her name, which just popped me huge. I love that.
Stand it. I love it, but I can't stand it at the same time. No, I'm really excited. I'm glad that they're going back to this because I was really disappointed when they had announced the 2 out of 3 falls match and then it wasn't going to happen. We got Pac in the match, which was great anyway, but I'm kind of bummed that they're not sticking to this 2 out of 3 falls stipulation because we know that FTR has a magnificent history with the 2 out of 3 falls stipulation. All I'm saying is FTR, 2-time tag team champions, give me justice.
Give me what I want.
Run back.
Give me what I want.
And run back Undisputed Era versus FTR when it happens again.
Oh,
that match was so good.
Yeah, please. Now, another segment that I want to kind of bring up. We have Sammy Guevara come out, talk about the TNT title, and then surprise, surprise, Cody Rhodes comes out and challenges him says, hey, fight me for the match. And some of the good quotes that we heard during that match, Cody goes, listen, it's 2 good guys. And you love, he's leaning so heavy on the heel thing without turning heel, which I love because that's kind of cool. That's something different. That's something new, right? He teases going in the heel tunnel, and then he cuts back nah, I'm going to go down the babyface tunnel. But, Kyle, what'd you think of this segment? Are you excited for Sammy versus Cody?
I was so curious to see when this music hit, how the crowd was going to react as soon as he stepped out of the tunnel, and they reacted exactly how I was going to. And I love that he's embracing it, which is the best, and he's not trying to play it off, which I think would be the wrong thing to do here. So props to Cody for playing into it. And my God, you see all the burn marks on him from last week? My God, man, he's still scorched. He's still like a marshmallow when you stick it in the fire and you blow on it after.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
But yeah, him teasing going to the heel tunnel. I was like, no, I'll go back this way. That's where I love this. This is what I want out of him. Be that guy. Don't try to push yourself to be babyface and don't react to the crowd. Like, react to the crowd, but do it in this way. This is what I want to see. So this is great. I'm fine with it. Those two are going to put on an amazing match. I think they faced each other before. Have they not?
Yeah, they were. If you remember, they were the first match on the very first Dynamite. It was Cody versus Sammy.
I thought so. Yeah, it was Cody versus Sammy. So this is kind of like a playback to
first match.
To that first match. So, and it's for the TNT belt. I can't see Cody winning it, but it's still going to be a really good match. Yeah, cool. I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. And we'll see
Jackie,
where it goes.
what do you think?
My brother Nate, shout out to him again, because he made a point where he was saying this was the segment of interruptions. It was Sammy coming out and then Cody interrupting him, and then Ethan Page interrupting him, and then Scorpio Sky kind of interrupting him. And it's just it just like went on and on with the interruptions and talking about who's the justified challenger and stuff like that. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky did make some pretty good points in terms of why the hell is Cody just walking in and challenging. But it is an open challenge, so I mean, loopholes and shit. It's going to be a good match, so I'm here for it. I was really digging all the little teasers, like you guys pointed out, in terms of Cody just kind of, letting the crowd know it's like, I hear y'all talking shit, and I'm just going to lean into it a little bit just to give it a little bit of edge, but not go full tilt. So I thought that was well done.
Now, another thing I want to point out is, so we had the big 8-man tag match with the two tag teams, Jurassic Express and Varsity Blondes versus the Acclaimed in 2.0, which was a fun match. And if you guys want to talk about it, I'll give you your opportunity to talk about it. But what I want to talk about is what happened later on in the night with the Varsity Blondes. And that is, of course, they come out to do a promo with Julia Hart. Lights go out. Lights come back on. Malachi's on stage. You're like, wait, what's going on? He spits the mist out all over Pillman Jr. and Julia Hart. We get this great scream from Julia Hart. Lights cut out. Lights cut back on. Malachi's gone. Jackie, where do you think this is going to go? Are you excited? It's, to me, out of left field, right? We thought Malachi was going to, feud with more people like Cody or Pac or stuff like that. Like, it's cool to see him feuding with the Varsity Blondes now.
Yeah, it's two different reactions, because at first it's the why. This seems kind of out of left field, but then it becomes the more intrigued, well, why? And we started kind of speculating a little bit in our watch along chat yesterday, where we were saying, is she going to turn? Is this like, is this getting misted in the face going to be the catalyst for people, succumbing to the same facial disease, if you will, that's happening to Malachi Black and what's eating away at him and taking over him? So shout out to Julia Hart. I said she could have been in a horror movie. Like, she has like that really convincing scream. She sold the hell out of that.
Shout out to Ascended saying she sold that scream like she was a counselor at Camp Crystal Lake.
What a reference.
Even a horror fan, but I got that. Great reference.
But definitely really interested to see where this is going to take us, because it did kind of pop up out of nowhere. But I have the utmost trust for AEW when it comes to everything having a distinct reason for happening.
Oh, yeah. What do you think, Kyle?
So I can't just see Malachi Black feuding with the Varsity Blondes and that's it. I think there's something bigger here, and it's what we were discussing. I think maybe Pillman Jr. got ricocheted by accident. I think it was mostly meant, from what I see,
it mostly meant for Julia?
Because even if you look at the camera focus, they kind of just focus on her. And then he did it to Pac, right? What if? We don't know. Maybe Julia Hart went to Tony Khan's. Like, I kind of want to change my character. I love doing the cheerleader thing. I've done it my whole life. But hey, maybe I want to kind of a little bit of a change. And, what if she's like, well, maybe we can turn you dark if you want to do like a darker character. We have Malachi Black building this, quote unquote, House of Black with the rumors of Brody King coming in. What if Pac's been turned and now Julia? What if that's the House of Black? We got Julia Hart, Brody King, and Pac. You know what I mean? If they wanted to.
We have Rob in the chat that I want to shout out saying that the Black Mist is an invitation to join House of Black.
Okay.
Hmm.
Goes along with the lines of what you're saying, Kyle.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. And I think if if she can act like what she did with the scream and everything, I can only imagine what acting skills she have if she turned into like a darker character. So I just want to say that when the lights went out and the lights came back on, and it was him, I popped big time. Like I was also ahead my stream for the first time when we were all watching together, and I had to like
Hilarious.
hold it
that
in,
never happened.
and it barely held in. I was going nuts because I was like, oh my god, like I had chills. I had literal chills when the lights came on and he was there with the mask and everything. I was like, oh damn, like that got me. And then the scream and everything, that was perfect. I loved every bit of that. And I hope this actually leads to him building a faction. There's a reason why he's spitting this black mist on people. I don't think Aleister Black is the character to do something without a meaning.
Malachi Black.
Yeah.
Malachi Black, sorry.
Really, real quickly.
I do it all the time too.
Yeah, real quickly to that point though, Kyle, what you were saying about like possibly having Julia Hart going and wanting to change her character in a different direction. Look how greatly that benefited Anna Jay in her career. She came in as a star of the show, presumably very baby face and very green, and them taking her character in a darker path with a Dark Order greatly benefited her character work and I think her overall career. So it's like if they want to do something like that with Julia Hart, let's go.
Yeah.
Have faith in the long-term storytelling, right?
And this is Black doing it. This is Black writing it because they're giving him the freedom to do it. And he's not the type of guy to rush things. Everything means something. He is that type of person. If you've listened to any interviews that Black has done, he puts so much into his, like, so much detail into his stuff.
Yes.
Like, the little things, even like his face paint, it's continuing to grow. Like, it's going up and it's hitting his forehead, like the top of his forehead now. And I believe it's just going to keep going.
And stuff.
Yeah. So
just have patience. I know that for a lot of us who have been watching WWE for so many years, it's tough to be patient and to understand that not everybody needs a title. Not everybody needs a main event. Some things need to be slow burn. Some things need to be in the background. So we kind of forget about it, but we kind of know what's going on. It's cool when they do stuff like this where we're like, wait, that was random. Why would he with the Varsity Blondes? Because we don't know where it's going to go. It's going to be something new. It's going to be something different. It's going to be something exciting. And remember, we keep saying it, Revolution is in March. So we have a ton of time, a ton of weeks of storytelling, BTE, people's vlogs. There's all these avenues to tell these great stories. Like Kyle said, Aleister or Malachi, you got me messing up too. Malachi is great. I'm telling these stories. So let's give him a chance to tell this great story and get invested in
Jackie's friend popped me in the chat. She's like, sounds
Emily,
like he's trying to take out M&M's with Aunt Rona.
Rona.
I call her Aunt Rona up here. That's my nickname for the coronavirus. I call her Aunt Rona.
Yeah, fucking Aunt Rona. Bitch, ruining everything. Now with that, so that was Dynamite basically. We saw Ashita and Deeb hype video that's going to happen at Winter is Coming next week. We saw Jade Cargill and Thunder Rosa get their hype video, which is really cool. So a lot of great wrestling coming up within the next few weeks. Now I want to, before we get out of here, I want to talk about Rampage a little bit. So there's some pretty cool things happening on the show. Adam Cole versus Wheeler Yuta. Nyla Rose, Allie, and Penelope. Well, Nyla Rose, Bunny, and Penelope versus Ruby Soho, Ty Conti, and Anna Jay. FTR versus the Lucha Brothers, like we said. But a living legend himself, okay? A man
greatest AEW superstar in the world.
I got to roll that R. Who am I talking about?
Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa. So we have the man that I do not understand why people love him so much. Hook is making his AEW in-ring debut against Fuego del Sol on Rampage, and people who were there that night, let me tell you something, are saying that he did great. They're saying his entrance music was fantastic. We see some of those videos floating around, and I'm really excited to see what this guy can do in the ring, because I don't think Taz would let his son debut if he wasn't ready. And in a big moment like a Rampage, I know it's a taped show, but still, right? This is the big moment. Jackie, are you excited to see Hook's in-ring debut?
I am actually, and in a non-ironic way. because I have been asking since he's been hanging around with Team Taz at ringside. I'm like, when is this guy gonna get in the ring? Is he gonna get in the ring, or is he just there to like, look tough or whatever, just to be an extra guy?
Yeah,
He was
yelling
for
at you when
the
Carrie
most part.
DMs you about him because he does not look tough at all.
The perception is that he's supposed to look tough. I don't know that
I don't know
that he achieves it, but
Right.
that was the goal. But just like you can see in the chat right now, if you were here live,
Your mom.
all the send hook. Oh, Mama POV, that's Taz's son.
Oh,
is
I
Hook.
thought she was making a great joke there. That is the best. I don't know who Hook is, but send him.
Send him. Yeah, that was great.
But yeah, like all the send hooks in the chat, like this has been an ongoing thing. Like everybody's just been waiting for him to make his debut, and now like finally, like they just like randomly said, "Oh, and by the way, Hook's making his debut on Rampage," and I think everybody in our group chat popped yesterday. So I'm excited. I'm very curious and intrigued to see how this is going to turn out.
Listen, Hook may get through Fuego, but he ain't getting through Carrie. Let me tell you, the hatred that Carrie has for that man, that boy.
That boy. Yeah.
He wants to throw hands so bad with him.
He's got a shirt now. It's official. He's got a shirt.
He's got the most basic fucking. It just says Hook on it, and it's a white shirt.
And Taz
people
font.
are buying it.
Yeah.
People are buying it, which is great. And he has the worst name for his fans I've ever seen. His fans call themselves the Hookers. What a terrible name.
This is proof that the internet wrestling community can get literally anything over, because I think this is all them. This is all the send hooks and shit like that,
Well, the Twitter account's probably happier than a pig in mud right now, man. He finally gets his post because he just keeps reposting the video of CM Punk saying send Hook.
That one guy every day. I love it. I love it, bro. This is why I love AEW. They do funs. This is fun. This is something fun, especially for people that's, the third hour. Well, not even. That's going into the fourth hour that you've been there, because remember, we get that hour beforehand of Elevation taping. So you get Elevation, 2 hours of Dynamite, and then you get the Hook match, which I know people in the crowd seem to have a great time. So yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about before we get into what's coming up, our big announcement, and our after show that we have coming up right after this? Jackie, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think Jackie should talk about something.
What am I talking about?
Jackie's a celebrity hoot over here, appearing on Thunder Rosa's vlog since our last show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a thing that happened. So at WrestleCade, I made it a point that I was gonna meet two people, or well, technically three. I had to meet FTR, and Thunder Rosa was a must on that list. Thunder Rosa was a must on that list.
Thunder Rosa.
Anyway, so in being there, it was really not to like toot my own horn, because I hate doing this because I feel like I sound like I'm bragging. She was very enthused to see me. She recognized me, which was cool enough as it was. And then she asked me to say a few words for her vlog, and I get so excited and I get so like emotional, because she is an absolute inspiration to me. She's somebody that, is a really remarkable public figure for the Latina community. And I'm glad that I got to tell her that in person, and that it resonated with her so much that she said, you know what, come say that on my vlog. And so yeah, that was my Cloud9 moment.
Famous. And speaking of vlogs, Jackie has a great vlog up on our YouTube channel of her journey to WrestleCade. Shout out to everybody who has watched it already. If you haven't watched it, go do that. And I just want to say this right now. I'm sorry, chat. All right. This is why you got to be here. Ooh. I'm sorry, chat. I don't know how with all this greatness, I forgot that the main event was our cowboy. No, not our cowboy. Was Danielson versus
our American Dragon cowboy.
John Silver. Listen, I just want to get to the announcement. I just want to say it out loud. I can't hate in no more. But we get John Silver versus
the Third Island
Bryan
boy.
Danielson. Kyle, I'll start with you since you're over here giving me the oohs and ahs. What did you think of the main event?
Johnny Hungy did an amazing job. Obviously, I knew this match was going to be fire, because you have Bryan Danielson and John Silver. I mean, John Silver, we know how much of a good wrestler he is. So I think they put on a really good match. He got a really good hometown reaction. And it was awesome. We got what we got after the match with Hangman coming for the save, because it ended again. I know it looks weird at first, but they're doing this story where Bryan Danielson can win with any move, and he's not going to use that same move week after week. He's going to come out with a different move this week. This week he chose the what is it called? The is it Gotch pile driver? I forget. There's a specific name for it. It's a Gotch pile. Someone's going to correct me in the chat. I think it's called Gotch pile driver, and it knocked him out. He went to go lock into submission, but the referee seen that he was out from the pile driver, and he called the match instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which I had an issue with. I think the match should have ended with the elbows, but it's me nitpicking.
And then he what he got on the mic and said like, "No, I'm gonna kick." What did he say? I'm still gonna kick his face in or something like that. And
I'm still gonna kick his head in.
And then Hangman comes for the save again, building their match for next week with the title match. So, I thought it still was a great main event and a good way to end the show and build up for next week's title match.
Yeah, what did you think, Jackie?
I think
the chat continues to yell at me.
But just to add to that, I loved Hangman coming out at the end. He said, "Next week I'm gonna stomp the cowboy shit out of you."
Forgot about that too.
Yep.
Yes.
To get the cowboy shit stomped out of me for forgetting.
Probably. No, I thought I won't add much more to it other than to say that it was a good match. I'm happy for John Silver that he got that moment in front of his hometown crowd. But the hype for me is going to be Hangman versus Danielson and seeing that match. It felt like it came up a little quick. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm ready.
Next week. And speaking of things to come, I think it's time. All right, I waited long enough. All right, it's time.
It's time for the main event.
Get the graphic ready.
All right, folks.
You know when to click it. Yeah. So, for anybody who has been following my journey personally in podcasting, all the way back to Who Got Next, you know who some of my favorites are. You know that who it would be a dream for me to get a chance to interview. Now, this came suddenly. This came out of nowhere, right? Drum roll, please. Ascended, absolutely. And this person reached out to me to do the interview. I knew that there was only one person that I could have on this show, and that was my boy Kyle. Because announcing here right now, Elite POV has officially done an interview with Ty Conti.
Yeah, buddy.
Put it up in the chat, baby. We have an exclusive interview with AEW breakout star Ty Conti. I am not lying. This is not a dream.
No.
Touch my face.
Throw
water in my face.
We couldn't pinch each other through the screen.
Listen, it happened. It happened an hour and a half before we went live. I still don't believe it's real. And we're working on getting it to you guys tomorrow. We learned that Zoom sucks.
Yeah.
But we got through it, and we have about a 50-minute interview for you guys. So it's definitely something to look forward to. Highlight of my life, professional life. It's all downhill from here, which I say in the show, and she pops. So it's definitely something that I just want to thank you guys, because without your support, with supporting us and kind of making us feel like we could do these interviews, right? With your positivity, with your love, with your support, you give us the confidence to reach out for these interviews and to confidence in ourselves that we could even do them. So I want to thank you guys for that. And look forward to that coming.
My chest hurts still because my heart was almost out of its, like, it was breaking my rib cage beating so much. It was amazing. Guys, you're not going to want to miss this interview. I'm telling you right now.
It is a great
Phil, huge fan of Tay Conti. I've been a big fan of hers as well since I've seen her first in the Mae Young Classic. I'm telling you guys right now, you will become more of a fan, if you're not already, of Tay Conti after watching this interview, because she is one of the most amazing human beings in the world. And I knew that before the interview, but after the interview, it just confirmed everything, that this girl is truly amazing. And the sky is the limit with her. She's going to have an incredible career going forward. And we're so happy to share this with you guys and for you guys to experience this interview. It's going to be up tomorrow. Look out for it. Make sure you're following our social.
And it will be on our YouTube channel for free for everybody. We are not putting this behind a paywall. It is too important for us, and you guys are a part of us, and it's too important for you guys to get to see me and Kyle get to interview Ty.
Yes, I understand I have a Canadian accent. Y'all don't need to point it out in the chat.
Oh boy. And by the way, I just want to point out that Phil didn't say a 15-minute interview. He 50. Said 50-minute interview. Mm-hmm. So you guys are gonna get I haven't seen it yet, but I'm legitimately just so excited. I want to just throw in there, add to what Phil said. Thank you all so much for your continued support. It's you all that make these kinds of things possible. But I popped for Phil and for Kyle because it literally couldn't happen to better people. I'm so proud of this team.
Is it bad enough that I went back on my old podcast that I used to do way back? This is like when I reviewed the Mae Young Classic, and I went and listened to myself. A, better podcaster now than I was then back then. You always got to start somewhere. But B, I remember went and listened to that. It was a 32-minute episode when I reviewed the first round of the Mae Young Classic, and I spent about 25 minutes talking about Tay Conti. Listen, bad.
Adam in the chat says, "I'm proud that Phil's heart didn't burst doing this." I almost threw up.
No, it did burst. I saw it physically burst.
She was messaging me saying that she was about to join, and we sent her that Zoom link. Let me tell you, between me and you guys, I wanted to throw up. All right, I wanted silent. To like just. I couldn't even. I was more nervous interviewing Ty Conti than I was jumping out of a plane earlier this year. All right, let's talk about that. And we talked about
we did talk about that. We talked about that.
So you have to listen to the show. It is an incredible interview. You guys will love it. We talk about Full Gear. We talk about her career. We talk about stuff she wants to do going forward, which some of it is stuff she hasn't said publicly before. So make sure you listen to that. Share it when it comes out. Tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your friends. Let's blow this up. Let's get FTR. Let's get Thunder Rosa. Let's get these other talent. Let's get this AEW media badge for All Out next year. Let's put all that positive mindset out there. And with your guys' help and with your guys' support, we can do anything. And thank you.
100%.
And saying that, patreon.com/Elite POV, where you guys can support us. Watch my my vlog, my collection vlog that's up there. We got Top Girl Talk. We got a lot of great stuff coming. Watch Ran on Wrestling on YouTube. Ant does some great shows out there. Watch Jackie's vlog on YouTube. And yeah, a lot of great things coming. We're ending the year really strong, and we're going to start the year stronger.
Shout out, speaking of Patreon, shout outs to our first best, I think he's our first best in the world tier subscriber, who is I am Jermazing in the Twitch chat.
Yep, shout out to
Jermazing. He is I think he's our first best in the world tier subscriber, which is here. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. The $20 per month one. So shout outs to you, Jermazing. Thank you so much for that. Literally, that you don't know how much that means to us here. And trust me, guys, everything goes back into this podcast to make this the number one place for you guys for podcast content, for Patreon content, what you guys want to see. And we want to make it all positive and be a hub for you guys to come to when you want positivity in wrestling and to talk about great wrestling. So that is our number one goal here, is to make this a positive hub for you guys, in a place where you can feel welcome and talk about AEW, and to also have fun. We want to, the main goal too is for you guys to have fun as well, and to make it about you guys. So thank you again. Shout out to Jermazing for being the best, one of the best in the world tiered subscribers. So shout out to you.
Yes, and as we mentioned before, right after this, we're doing a special after show that is only available on our Patreon. So if you guys want to see us answer the questions you have, we're going crazy on that after show. Let me tell you, I got all this energy. I got it somewhere. Patreon.com/ I said my old podcast name. I'm so out of .com/Elite POV. If you guys want to follow the show, it's at Elite POV on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Elite POV Clips on TikTok. I just want to keep talking about the interview because we talk about that too.
Can we do our signature sign off before we end, though? Can we make sure we do the Britt Baker style sign off?
Oh, we will do our best. Jackie, let everybody know where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24 and on Instagram at JacksTheDrawPOV.
Kyle, let them know.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at All Elite Kyle. The very basic name is very easy to spell. You can follow me on Instagram if you feel like it. I don't really Insta, so Real Kyle Masters, where you can find me on there. I don't have a TikTok. Maybe one day I'll have a TikTok, and we'll do some TikTok dances for your enjoyment. Don't hold your breath. Probably not going to happen. But you can definitely follow me on Twitter at All Elite Kyle, where I tweet mostly every day about either A, Sean Spears, or B, Jamie Hayter, and sometimes now, probably more now, about Ty Conti, the most wonderful human being I've met so far.
And if you guys want to follow our other great co-hosts on Twitter, it's @_is_elite. And if you guys want to follow me, it's @PhiliumElite. And we're going to end this show how we always do. I forgot because I just want to talk about the interviews over and over again.
So our podcast name is Elite.
Thank you guys for listening to Elite
POV.
And remember, even if we forget your match, you still don't need a hat to be a cowboy. We'll see you guys tomorrow with the Ty Conti interview. Peace.